All right, boom. So I usually just don't like Wednesdays, and it seems like because I said I didn't like trading on Wednesdays, it became a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? So basically, I had two trades, both of them were a loss. I'll put them on the screen and you'll be able to see them. The second trade was also a loss, even though it was still the right direction, and you can see on the DXY that the market actually followed the DXY and the QQQ. So it could have worked out in my favor. I got hit out a little bit too early. I had a tight stop, yes, because I, I just don't like Wednesdays, and it seems like because I said that the Wednesday turned out to be bad. But let's get into it, and I'll show you where I messed up today. Right. So the first trade was at 9:30 to the buy side, and let me show you what was happening. So this is the dollar, this is the QQQ, right? So at 9:30, I went to the buy side as the dollar was kind of breaking down, right? I was able to close the trade early because I could see the dollar forming a bottom here and not breaking lower. That to me is a sign that the market, the dollar is not going to break lower, therefore the market can't really go that high, you know? So I closed my buy position at a $5 loss within 3 minutes because I could see that it wasn't making that new low. And that's a way to use the candlestick, how the candlesticks are forming, and kind of understand what they're telling you, you know? So I saw that. Let me show you where I entered and exited on the QQQ. And this is, no, this is the ray. Okay, perfect. So at 9:30, I entered. It's actually in the same candle. All right, 28327. So that's 28. So a little bit lower would be 27. And is that the 9 o'clock? 9:30. Perfect. 28327. So I entered right here to the buy side. And it started off choppy. So it was like, it was telling me that it was choppy, but it wasn't really a choppy day because as you can see, the market sold off and the dollar actually trended up. So it had a good correlation today. And that's what I like. That's what I like to play. But after that, I was like, yeah, I'm not participating in this if it's too choppy, right? So the next when I exited, it was at 28317, so right about there. So I kept it pretty close and just closed out my QQQ within like 3 minutes from here to the buy side and closed it while the market started to go against me a little bit, right? If I had held it, I could have sold it at here, but it would have been showing me a conflicting signs on the DXY here. So that's one thing. It wouldn't have allowed me to hold my trade because I'm looking at this and seeing okay, the dollar kind of broke above a resistance level here and kind of found a bottom, and that was telling me it's not that bullish for today. On the QQQ, it was telling me it was gonna be quite bearish. I as I saw it becoming quite bearish at 9:34, perfect. So at 9:34, that's when it has this bottom here and it's starting to make this new high on the dollar, started to break up above the resistance level on the dollar. That's when I went to the short side, right? But I wanted to keep my losses within a certain range, so I didn't want to risk too much on that trade in case it went against me. Just because I believe that Wednesdays are typically choppy, and Wednesdays being typically choppy means that we're gonna be like completely range bound. However, I was wrong, right? So I entered to the sell side at 28337, and that's on a 9:30 candle. That's still on a 9:30 candle. So 28337. So I'm guessing I probably just flipped that position. 28337. 28337. So that's where I entered to the sell side. And then I had my stop loss at 284. 284 flat. And that's where it hit me out at 10 o'clock. So let's go to the 10 o'clock candle. So this green movement was what hit me out, and I couldn't believe when it did that. I'm gonna be honest because I had just my stop loss a little bit above the daily resistance level here. I mean, what am I looking at here? How hard do we go? Yeah, so I would have to have it zero point 0.7 above my daily resistance to not get hit out. So even then, it was kind of risky. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell with that. But that's where I entered to this. This is where I entered to the sell side. The trade began to go against me. I had my stop loss set already from I made the trade, and this is where I got hit out. So for the entire day, it was a loss of 20.60. So I basically lost just about one, and I was trying to make three, so a 3-to-1 risk reward. So I'm trying to make this move like all the time, but that just didn't play out, Because if you look at it from where we entered, and we're kind of clear on that right now. So from where we entered, I'm not sure what this is about, but we're entered here at 28337 with 20 shares, right? And then we have a breakdown to two 7 8, right? 278 is 5. So you could have made a 1 to 5 risk reward, or even, yeah, 278 is still 5 or 4. So you could have a 1 to 5, 1 to 4 risk reward, where you could have made $100, or you could have made 120, right, on this trade. So that's ideally what we're aiming for. And even if we were to take it down to this level from 283, we would have hit a 1 to 3 risk reward, which would have been $90, which would have been, no, not 90, 60. 1 to 3 would have been a 60 when you're risking $20 per trade, right? So that's basically what happened. I'm not sure why I'm using these red lines, but let's get rid of them and just focus on the purple. The purple are the weekly levels, and the yellow are the daily levels, right? And I'll probably drop some later. But all in all, it was a good day. I like when it breaks ranges. When it breaks ranges, it's easier to trade for me personally, and that's my preference. Like I'm a trend trader, basically. That's what I would say. But that's basically what happened today on the Wednesday, guys. Hopefully tomorrow is much better. Um, let's see. I had a profitable day on Tuesday. Today was a loss. Let's see how tomorrow plays out, and Friday. That's basically it, and I'll see you tomorrow.